and today with one of the latest displays from ASUS. This is the ROG27ACS, which is, in my opinion, one of the easiest names for displays. It doesn't matter the brand, usually it's complicated names, but this one is actually easy. Now, this is a 27-inch display with a resolution of 2560 by 1440, 180 Hz IPS panel, and HDR, along with other specifications that I will leave down below. Now, in my opinion, and for the usage that I've been doing for the past few days, this is one monitor that is designed for gamers in mind first, and after that, everything else. Content creators, web designers, and whatnot. But it has an interesting balance between everything that it offers and the price that it costs, that I will leave the link down below. And hopefully in this video I will be able to share some of those specs and why I believe that it's gamers first and creators after, and the interesting balance. First of all, it has 1 millisecond response time from gray to gray, along with the other features that we have seen. The colors and contrast that we see right over here are just awesome, and even without any special 4K videos that we use to test out these displays, when we look at it, one of the things that we can notice is, besides being an IPS panel, which is not something very usual for gamers, and it's being more usual, fortunately, but even though we find a lot of VA panels, this is an IPS matte panel. So one of the things that we can see, besides the colors that I will show you a few more images, this is a super aggressive angle, and one of the things that I can see is that the color shifting is almost non-noticeable, which is awesome. There is some, but it's not that much. So one other thing is matte right over here, so all my ceiling lights are bumping to the screen, and it's doing a great job on these two spots. So a lot better than some of the screens that we see, which are glossy, and we will need to have a lot more careful, but right over here doing a great job. Now, in terms of colors and contrast, even being a matte display, the colors and contrast are just awesome. So you can see by some images now, instead of looking just at this screenshot, which is really, really good. And once again, even on those weird angles, the distortion is minimal. The IPS panel combined with HDR does a simple, outstanding job. And although it's not a 4K monitor, but rather 1440p, it can still be used by content creators, mainly due because of the quality that it has. And why do I say this? Because when we look at 180 Hz, content creators really don't need that. 60 Hz is more than enough. 1 millisecond response time, we don't actually need that. That is a feature for gamers. So if we wanted to have 4K right over here with HDR, IPS, and all the features that we have talked, then the price would jump up too high. So the only thing that we can see lower down is the 4K coming to 1440, but we keep IPS, we keep 1 millisecond response time, we keep 180 Hz refresh rate, and we keep HDR. So I believe that they did a great balance. Now, if we enjoy playing games and streaming our games or recording our sessions with a face cam, there is a really nice and simple 1/4 inch screw here on the top so that we can place in a camera, and honestly it is a small touch that delivers a great option. There are a few mounts to put on the display, and I was about to purchase one a few weeks ago, and then I decided another solution, which is not with this display, but it costs around 60 to 70 euros, one of those solutions. So I'm glad to see this right over here, because it is a gaming display, and I believe that most people that will be using it will have some kind of face cam. So great job on there, ASUS. Also a gimmick perhaps, but might be useful for someone, which is this slot right over here on the front for the tablet or phone. Not really sure about this one, if it's positive or not. I probably don't want to have my phone facing me when I'm concentrated on my display, editing videos or playing games, but it is an option. You can place it right over there. In terms of viewing angles, or in terms of adjustments to be more precise, we will have all kinds of adjustments. We can rotate to the left, we can rotate to the right, we can do elevation up and down, And more interesting in my opinion, we can pivot but in both directions, which is something that we don't see on all displays. We can go from 90 degrees negative to 90 degrees positive in pivot, which is really nice, especially for those that work on web pages, website design and that sort of work. Will be very handy. In terms of controlling the display, we have the menu buttons right at the back where we can control all the options of the display, but if we want we can use the well-known that we have used ASUS Display Widget Center, and we will be able to control everything with just our computer. It has one display port, 1.4, HDMI 2.0, USB-C and a 3.5mm audio jack. And if we have a NVIDIA GPU, we have G-Sync right over here. If we have a AMD GPU, we have FreeSync right over here, along with a lot more specs linked down below. So I believe that there are no excuses not to go to this display unless you are a creator first and a gamer secondly. Then there are other options in the market. But if you are a gamer first and then everything else second, then this is a great option, not letting us down when we need to edit a video or edit photos, because the colors, the contrast, the IPS panel, matte, which is really a great balance in my opinion. That being said, hope that the video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.